Dramatic moment: cops from Britain's FBI armed with assault rifles swoop on weapons gang as they are jailed for a total of 32 years.
This is the dramatic moment: police armed with assault rifles swooped on a gang of men during a huge weapons raid as they were jailed for a total of 32 years. Officers arrested Carl Brookes, 38, Richard Davis, 36, Callum Meah, 26, Jordan Feeney, 28, and Robert Clark, 32, after boxing in their BMW in Muirfield Gardens, Kings Norton, Birmingham. Body cam footage captured the shocked gang being held at gunpoint by cops from the National Crime Agency, NCA, sometimes called Britain's FBI, on May 13 last year. Officers can be heard shouting, "Armed police, stay where you are, on the ground. Get on the floor now. Put your hands in the air. Keep them there." After bundling one suspect from the car, another orders, "Get out, stay there, on your effing belly. Put your hands behind your back. Don't move." Officers recovered a loaded handgun, ammunition, knives and sledgehammer from the gang, who were dressed up and kitted out to do some harm. Clark, who was wearing a rolled-up balaclava on his head, was also found with a knife in his inside pocket. The Birmingham men were all charged with possession of a prohibited firearm, possession of prohibited ammunition, possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life, and possession of a firearm with intent to cause fear of violence. Clark was also charged with possession of an offensive weapon, bladed article. All 5 men pleaded guilty and were sentenced on Thursday, November 8, to jail spells ranging from between 5 to 7 years at Birmingham Crown Court. NCA Birmingham Branch Commander Mick Pope said, "These men had a loaded gun, ammunition and an array of weaponry in their possession when they were arrested. There is no doubt in my mind that these men were dressed up and kitted out to cause somebody, somewhere, some harm, and it is only the intervention of NCA officers that prevented this from happening. We know guns and knives are used in acts of serious violence and by violent criminals to coerce and intimidate, and taking such weapons off the streets of the West Midlands remains a priority for the NCA and our partners. I would also urge anyone with information about illegally held firearms to come forward and help us stop violence and protect our communities. They can contact Crime Stoppers anonymously or police."
Carl Brookes, Jordan Feeney and Robert Clark, all from Northfield, as well as Callum Meah, from Stourbridge, and Richard Davis, from Redknapp, were held after their BMW car was stopped in Muirfield Gardens, Kings Norton, on May 13 last year. After being questioned, all 5 were charged with possession of a prohibited firearm, possession of prohibited ammunition, possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life, and possession of a firearm with intent to cause fear of violence. Richard Davis, 36, was one of the 5 men who pleaded guilty to the charges at Birmingham Crown Court on Thursday, December 8. A judge handed the gang sentences ranging between 5 and 7 years, Clark pictured. Officers recovered a handgun, ammunition, knives and sledgehammer from the gang. The gun was loaded. Clark was wearing a rolled-up balaclava on his head and had a knife in his inside pocket.